We're gonna do the rear brakes on Ford Fusion second generation 2012 to 2020. And first thing first, jack up the car, put on jack stands, put a tire chuck, and then we will take the wheel off. Right, wheels are out. In order to take the caliper bolts off, we are going to be taking this little caps off first, and then your Allen key goes right in. Right, it's a 7mm Allen wrench socket that we're using. So that clip comes off, and then the caliper should just lift right off. Just hang it up there, and then we can take the bigger caliper frame bolts off. Those are in the back. Right, both 15mm bolts, they both have to come off, at least back off. Bottom bolt completely off. The frame should slide right out, and the rotor, just beat it and it should come right off. It's a good time to clean this area from rust. Spray a little, use steel wool and clean it before you put in the new rotors. I'm going to be using the DFC ceramic premium rotors and also the same brand ceramic brakes. I did spray a disc brake quiet on this so we don't have any vibration. And these ones are ready to go. Right, some disc brake quiet on the rear brakes and ready to go. Rear brakes, you can't just compress it by pushing it in. You have to also turn it clockwise. So normally if you have like a needle nose plier, you can put it into those little two notches there and turn, or you can do this, you turn a few times and then use the compression tool to actually compress it further. And you keep repeating, put 2 turns and compress, 2 turns, compress, do that till that rubber basically disappears, and that's your point of stopping. All depends on how much wear the old pads had. That's how much it was pushed out. That looks good. And here's the old pad, and here's the new pad. You can see it's like 3 times bigger, and that basically means that's how much you have to compress the piston back inside as well, because this much how far the piston was out. And here's our new pads, and the one with the little clip goes in the back, and one without the clip goes in the front. Okay, the rotor is in. Let's put the caliper bracket. 15mm bolt goes back in, line it up. The one with the clip goes on in the back, and the one without the clip actually goes on this side. Make sure you have the pad side facing the rotors. Okay, caliper goes back in. Because of the compression, we can easily fit it in. If not, you'll be struggling at this point. Okay, line up the caliper bolt right here, as you can see, with this hole, and tighten it. Nice, you can actually see that thing coming through this hole here. Let's do the same on the bottom. Lining up is important. In the auto seat, once the threads are in. Perfect. It's coming in nice and tight. The brake kit does come with new retainers and a whole bunch of rubber bushing. As long as they're not bad, you don't have to change them with retainers. It's good to change them just so that they don't get rusted. So line up with that hole and then snap back to retain. Perfect. That goes in. Check for any vibration. Check the torque on these. Nice and snug, everything. Customer actually bought a set of new lug nuts. Now we'll finally put the car down, take the torque stick and torque it to specs. Last up, putting a torque wrench to 100 foot-pounds. Seems like that light impact did about 80 foot-pounds, and just have to crank a little more. So in this, everything is torqued, all good to go. Now all we have to do is drive the car and basically do some really minor brake checks, slowly get it pumped up, the pedal, and finally we are good to go. And that is it, guys. That is how you would do a rear brake change on a Ford Fusion 2nd generation. And if you want to know how to do brakes on the front, we have videos for that, and also tune-up, oil change, PCV valve, cabin air filter, as well as engine air filter, all that stuff for this car. So please check that out and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.